What's happening, Reds? Welcome back to the channel. Breaking news tonight is that Liverpool will send an official bid breaking the club record for Brightons' Moises Caicedo. A few things have developed today. Obviously, Liverpool have been dragging the heels over the Lavia deal. Next thing, we wake up this morning, see that Chelsea are now bid 48 million for him. Obviously, Liverpool fans straight away are obviously a bit worried about the situation. Obviously, there was a meltdown on Twitter first thing this morning. And then it turns out that Liverpool have seen this as a bit of a, I don't know, well, they thought along the lines of, you're bidding for the player we want, we're going to bid for the player that you want. And Liverpool have done their due diligence and have obviously approached Brighton. And they will, apparently, to Fabrizio Romano. If not tonight, it has to be Friday, but Liverpool will 100% bid for the midfielder. And, you know, it's got me thinking about a few things, and there's a lot of things that maybe don't make sense initially, but then, obviously, if you give it a little think about things, I kind of think it makes a lot of sense. So it makes you think, if we had 100 million, so the record fee, and obviously for Liverpool at the moment is 85 million for a club transfer fee, but a lot of people are suggesting we're going to have to get near 100 million. So a few questions have been raised are, if we've got 100 million to buy Caicedo, why didn't we get Bellingham? Then obviously, if he apparently wants Chelsea, so Chelsea are going to rival us again. Now, there's a few things I want to clear up straight away from the Chelsea side of things. From what I believe, Chelsea have kind of moved on from Caicedo, if you think about it. I think they had around, well, if you think about 70, 80 million at a stretch for the rest of their budget, because if you look at it, they won't improve on the 85 million apparently that they've placed, and now they've made an approach to a release clause for 20 million for Leeds' midfielder Adams, the United States of America player. So they've triggered that clause, so that'll be 20 million. And let's just say Lavia is 50 million. You know, that's 70 million. It looks like they're spending that money on two players rather than one. So from Chelsea's point of view, I'll be very surprised if they then go and match a £100 million bid after placing those two bids. So from Liverpool's side of view, that looks good. It looks like that maybe Chelsea have given up, but also from what I hear, I believe that Brighton are fed up with Chelsea's approach of obviously Caicedo and also the Levi Colwill deal. They wanted him back for a season. There's been a bit of jiggery-pokery there. Brighton aren't too happy with Chelsea as a whole. And as we know, Liverpool and Brighton have done plenty of business. They've obviously took Lallana from us. They've got Milner now. We bought Alexis McAllister. That went through so smoothly on both sides of it. So Brighton are actually looking forward to the potential bid from Liverpool, from what I hear. So that's from that point of view, I kind of get it. Now, the other side of it is obviously, if we had 100 million, why didn't we just go and get Bellingham? And there's a few key facts for this particular transfer that I want to clear up. I actually put it on my Twitter earlier today. I put it down as, if we're spending 100 million on Caicedo, why didn't we just sign Bellingham? And there's a few reasons. One, it could be that maybe he wanted Madrid. Maybe all along, even though Bellingham was up in the air, I want to play in the Premier League, Real Madrid's, let's just say the enticement of Real Madrid was too much, and maybe he made it clear to Liverpool that he wanted to join Real Madrid. Maybe that was one option. Liverpool then might have just gone, we're out of the race for him, so they didn't maybe look stupid after all this time. You know, we spent 18 months chasing him. We had ex-Liverpool players saying how much we want him to join Liverpool. We went out on a limb, and it was going to get embarrassing at one point. I think Liverpool just cut their ties. He said we could have made it clear Madrid was the only place he wanted to go. Or maybe at the beginning of the transfer window, it was either spend 100 million on Jude Bellingham and then don't get any other midfielders. And don't get me wrong, it would have been a tough decision. You know, we didn't know that we were going to get McAllister. We didn't know that Szoboszlai was going to be involved. So we didn't know what the alternative looked at that point. But it could be that. It could be Liverpool didn't want to put all their eggs in one basket and wanted to get two or three, players for that money. Now, the issue is they now find themselves in a position where, with that transfer approach of maybe getting two or three people in for the money they would have spent on Jude Bellingham, it hasn't panned out. We've done well getting McAllister. We've done well as getting Szoboszlai. But then trying to find that £50 million Lavia deal, so it kind of all the books balanced. We've had our arm twisted now. We've got to now spend big to get the completion of obviously the midfield, the rebuild in place. And it could simply be that. It could be an oversight. We didn't know that we were going to have to spend 100 million on Caicedo. We don't see Lavia as worth 50 million. And maybe maybe FSG and Klopp have come together and just go, do you know what? We don't really want to spend this amount of money, but we can understand if we do. He's 21 years old. He's Premier League proven. We won't need another person in that position for the foreseeable future. And also, what you've got to think about as well, when we were linked with Bellingham, we still had Jordan Henderson, we still had Fabinho. Those players were still in our ranks. So now that they're not, there's a massive need for experience in that midfield. So as I say, this could have twisted the arm of John Henry and co. to dig deep, let's just put it that way. And finally, the Bellingham deal, I think on paper, it might not be 100 million, but I think with wages, that could have also been something that obviously Liverpool got priced out of. A few people replied to me tweet saying, it says there, I think it's, where is it? There's a few people have said we didn't have the Fab and Hendo money and the wage bill and things, and obviously Bellingham's fees and wages would have been huge compared to what Caicedo's would have been. So there's a lot of reasons why we didn't sign Jude Bellingham, but we may spend the money on Caicedo. So yeah, the breaking news is Liverpool within the next 24 hours will smash their transfer record fee for Moises Caicedo from Brighton. And I'll be honest, if we did sign him, that would be 3 world-class midfield signings in one window. It'd make a lot of things a lot easier in the sense of, if it was going to be Lavia, 19-year-old coming in, not great experience, in the Premier League up until this point, and, to rely on him and maybe Bajcetic, so to say, it might have been a bit too much. I know Caicedo's only 21, but obviously he's played a lot more than Lavia. He does give me that feel of, if we do get him, he does go down the route of an Essie and a Kante. That defensive midfield at Chelsea have always had a really good niche have. And also Fabinho, Rodri. I feel like he will be a mainstay in the team. And then Badge will learn off him. So I think it'd be a great sign. And if you think about it, every time we played Brighton last season, they absolutely humiliated us in the league, in the cup. They battered us. And if we can come out of this transfer window without Champions League football and sign their best 2 players, it's unbelievable. But as I say, I'm hoping that the funds that they had for Caicedo is now getting spent on Tyler Adams and Lavia. I'd like us to sign Lavia as well, but that's being a bit, being a bit too greedy, if I'm being honest. And if I had the choice between Lavia and Caicedo, it's Caicedo, hands down. Anyway, that is it. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this deal, what you're looking forward to, who you'd like us to sign. But yeah, that's the video.